What's up, everyone? You're not going to want to miss this next podcast. We got Rampage Jackson on, and we started talking about the Pride days. It was really interesting, so don't miss it, man. Check it out.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Yamatodamashii podcast. My name is James, and today it's MMA royalty, Mr. Rampage Jackson, Mr. Enson and Inoue, two longtime friends, but probably haven't spoken in a while. But today they certainly are. Rampage, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. Ents, how you doing?
Enson? How you doing, Enson?
Good, man. Long time. I think the last time we saw each other was what, 6 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, it was a long time.
I think I came to your gym. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. When I had, that was longer than that, then, because I had that gym down in Orange County, and you came to my gym.
Yeah, and you had something going too, with some kind of, you had some sparring thing going, yeah.
Oh yeah, I probably did have some. I was trying to promote that damn gym, and I didn't have no idea how to run the damn gym. The gym got dumped on me, and I was trying to promote it. That gym was so stressful. I think I closed it down shortly after you came, though.
Oh, really? That was a nice gym, though, man.
Yeah, it was. The problem was the guy who, the guy who started me to fighting. He asked me, let's do a gym. I said, I don't know nothing about gyms. He said, oh, don't worry, I'll do everything. So I just put up the money, and this dumbass, this was the second gym he got. The dumbass got the gym in the middle, like in the back of a furniture row, a bunch of furniture stores, and you couldn't see the damn gym. So how you're supposed to get a gym, like with the traffic driving by can see it, so people can stop by. You couldn't see the damn gym. You couldn't find it. And so it was hard to promote it. It cost a lot of marketing dollars to promote it. So it didn't do well, so I gave up, and I just closed the motherfucker. Plus, the UFC gym came right in the middle between me and another gym, and they stole my employee, and then he stole like the client list and sold all my damn members to the UFC gym. And that's when I just gave up right then and there. I said, all right, fuck this.
Too much stress, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot of stress. Don't you have a gym out in Japan?
Yeah, but I pretty much it pretty much runs itself. I got my students running it. I can travel anywhere I want. I can, I don't need to worry about it at all. So
see, if I had that, then I would have been set. I didn't have that.
Yeah, if you had someone just to run it, and if it had enough members to just pay itself, and you don't need to worry about it. I have no financial burden on it at all.
Wow, that's good. That's good. I'm so jealous of you because you live in Japan. I always wanted to live there.
Weren't you living there? Because you were in Japan, right? No,
I know. I never lived there. I think the longest I ever stayed was like 2 weeks. That's the longest I ever stayed.
Oh, just for the fights like that.
It's for the fights, and sometimes I come back to visit because I had married a girl from Japan.
Yeah.
Then I would go back and visit. Sometimes they go for the summer, and sometimes I go and visit. And there's, she'll stay with her parents, and I stay near Roppongi.
Good choice.
Yeah, I love Roppongi.
Roppongi, that's another story, huh?
Oh yeah.
Gonna get into it. Cool. So the first thing I want to know, right, is Rampage, did you know Enson before you met him? Like, had you heard of Enson? Because obviously his career was a little bit before yours already kicked into gear.
Yeah, the strange thing is, before I started fighting, I didn't know much about MMA, and then when I got the call to fight in Pride, I started looking at it, and I was always a fan of Enson and his brother because of their fighting style. Mm-hmm. Those guys didn't care. They fought guys twice their size, and they didn't care. They fought to the death, and they didn't care. And all the like like the new fighters now, they're fans of MMA and they become fighters. But all of us, my generation, we all look up to Enson and his brother. We all know them because they had like true fighter spirit. They were like samurais in there.
Yeah. And when we kind of talked about it, we, one of the big things we say is that the prize like wasn't there. Like back in the day, it was kind of, here's a tournament. These are the, this is the rule set. It might change, like, and then it's just completely like different landscape back then. So it's kind of cool that you guys looking up to Enson as well, right?
It was different fighting back then because it wasn't a whole lot of money in it back in those days. You know, so you fought for different reasons, and like the MMA fans now. And the new MMA fans and the new fighters, they don't understand that.
Yeah, we didn't have any of that flash of fame, money, TV, all that kind of stuff was and now MMA is pretty, is pretty understood. Like there's so much rules to it. There's a weight classes. It's pretty much a sport. Back in our day, it was so people were calling, when I fought in UFC 13, they were still saying that it was human cockfighting and it was banned in most states. We had to fight in Augusta, Georgia, because a lot of the states wouldn't allow it. So, and I think the UFC 13 was the last one that allowed us to fight barefisted. It was an option. Wow. So, all of us that were fighting, even the Pride days, man, all the people fighting then, it was still like it was a spectacle, and people weren't fighting because it was a sport. We were fighting because it was somewhere that we could, challenge ourselves in something that was pretty scary. I mean, I enjoyed it, but the rule set. I mean, you could soccer ball kick, you could stomp. I mean, it's so much more exciting. I mean, like that fight they have where Sterling won the belt. Yeah. Who did he win from? I mean, it almost like doesn't look like fighting. It's like you should, if you're on your hands and knees, you gotta defend someone kneeing your head.
Right.
How can it be illegal? This is fighting. This isn't basketball,
Right.
Yeah, so that's the thing, man. It's a whole different sport. And how do you feel about that, Rampage? Because I'm super stoked on how big MMA is, because it kind of brings our game a little bigger, but it's kind of disappointing to see, a lot of the shit that's going on the way it is now. The way fighting has become, it's more entertainment than actually martial arts.
Yeah, it most definitely evolved on us pretty fast. Like I said before, I think a lot of the new fighters are fanboys that started training at the gym. Now they're talented, they're great athletes, but it's not the same fights like us. Like they're game planning too much. And just fighting just to win, fight not to lose. They're not going out there fighting with their warrior spirit. And I really don't watch it that much. The only time I would really watch it if it's a fight that I really want to see, or one of my friends is fighting. Other than that, I can care less. I don't really watch it. But if Pride ever came back and they had that same excitement like what Pride used to do, I will watch that. I really miss the Pride days. Even though Pride left a bad taste in my mouth, I felt like they didn't treat me the way that I deserved to be treated. But that's no here or there. It's just, I really like the energy over there in Japan. I love the Japanese fans. They understood the fight game so much. You remember back in the day when the American fans didn't know anything about jiu-jitsu, and when the fight would go to the ground, they would start booing and stuff.
Booing, yeah.
You remember that? Yeah. And Pride, they never did that. Pride, the Japanese fans actually didn't start booing until the UFC got popular and started going over to Japan. And I heard that the Japanese fans started booing because they thought that's what they were supposed to do. they didn't know any better.
That's good. So, do you guys remember when you first met?
Like when we first met?
I don't remember because my memory is really bad. But I don't know if I could say the first time. I don't know if I can really say on the first time we really met and really met, like outside of fighting. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I should have texted you and just asked you if something I could say, because I don't know. You remember I was at this meeting?
I think we met in Roppongi.
I think it was Roppongi. I was out with some friends at a bar or something, and I bumped.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I think it was we of course we saw each other at the events and stuff.
Yeah.
But when we personally met, I think it was in Roppongi. I've been in Roppongi so much. I don't know who I was with, what girl I was with. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah, this is
But I
years
know I
ago.
remember Bucky. I remember I remember at the end of the night though, I think you had your shirt off though.
Yeah, you know what? That is probably true. Hey, I used to do that all the time back when I was in shape, and I used to get drunk. I would take my shirt off until one day I saw this episode of American Dad. And you know the cartoon? It's like a cartoon for grown-ups.
Yeah.
This guy was drinking, he had his shirt off, and he was in the gay club. And he said, that's what they do in gay clubs. I said, what? I didn't know that. I never been to a gay club. I didn't know that's what they did. So I
don't do that anymore.
I never did it again.
Wow.
I had no idea. I had no idea that was what went on inside gay clubs. I had no idea that was a thing. I don't know. I just do. I've always been that way. I used to do it. You know, I'm ugly, and when I'm in shape, the girls, they see my body, they call me Butterface. I was sexy, and that's how I get the girls' attention.
Wow. It's like the party trick shirt comes off.
That was the party
remember
trick.
That one time when we were
can't do it now.
Shit, how long ago was that when we had New Year's together in the club?
This man, you talking over 16, you probably talking over 16 years ago, brother.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
James, it was funny because I think that was right after you filmed 18.
Oh, well, that was okay. If you're talking about that was like 11, 12 years ago then.
Yeah, and then I remember there was a club up on the second floor that we were like doing the security and running, and I went downstairs to a 7-Eleven and I saw Rampage in 7-Eleven, kind of looking a little lost, and I went, Rampage, what are you doing? He goes, man, do you know a club that I can go party at? And I was like, fuck, you're Rampage Jackson. You can probably get in any club. He goes, no, man, where are you going? So we took him to our club, and we actually had New Year's together at the time.
Oh, nice. Wow. Man, how come I can't remember this?
It must have been a good New Year's.
Oh, wait, okay. Let me spark your memory on that night. You came up to me in the middle of the night, and you told me that some dude was trying to pick a fight with you.
In Japan?
Yeah, you don't remember that? It was some foreign dude. Some foreign dude came up, and then you told me this guy wants to make a fight with you or something, and then you went to the VIP area, and we just kicked the guy out of the club.
Was he Hakujin or Kokujin?
Hakujin, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
James, Nihongo Hinasiru.
Say that again. I know a bit Japanese. Nasiru, dude.
Hinasiru?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What was it? Wakarimasen deshita.
Oh, your Japanese better than mine.
No, it's not. It's not. I've been 5 times, but not long enough. So,
Did you marry a Japanese girl too?
No, my wife's Indian, so.
Oh damn! You went the whole other route.
Yeah, I went in different countries. Nah, she's from here, but you know. Like,
oh, yeah. I had one of those out there in England once.
Yeah.
A blonde-haired Indian. She was hot. Okay. So, but she had fake boobs.
She had one of those.
She had fake boobs, and one of her boobs was hard, and the other one was soft. It threw me off. So I just played with the soft one.
That's not that typical of Indian culture.
I know. I know. She told
leave that hard one alone, man.
I left the hard one alone. I'm like, yeah, you fucked that hard one up. She was beautiful, had a nice body, nice ass, and one hard boob that I never played with.
Wow, that's awesome.
You know, James Rampage just talked about that he has a bad taste in his mouth about Pride. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but I've heard that they've treated the foreigners not as well, but they treated me super good. They didn't play any fucking games with me. But I heard a rumor that, you know, for your Sakuraba fight, you got called like last minute, and it was like a last minute fight or something.
Yeah,
and you weren't even ready to fight.
Yeah, the Sakuraba fight, I got called like 2 weeks notice, and when I got to Japan, you know, I got arrested getting on the airplane, going to Japan.
No way.
Because back then I wasn't supposed to leave the country. I got in trouble in college. I wasn't supposed to leave the country, right? So I got bailed out. So I got to Japan a couple of days before the fight, and then and then they told me that night before the fight, they told me I had to lose 30 pounds.
Whoa.
And this was back when Pride didn't have a weight class.
Yeah.
They never told me anything about weight or nothing till the night before. And so so I fought Sakuraba, jet lagged.
Yeah.
Had to cut a bunch of weight. Something was wrong with my stomach. It was so bad that, you know, I low key felt like I was poisoned. I'm not gonna lie. My stomach never felt like that before, and it never felt like that since during the fight. But I said, you know what, this is my time. I'm gonna go and fight my ass off. And Yukini and Hideki, they never liked me. Sakakibara's son, he was always cool with me, but he wouldn't override like Yukini and Hideki, whatever her name is. He wouldn't override them, and they always fucked with me. Every chance they got, they was like super petty with the way they fucked with me. And they never really promoted me the way I thought that I should have been promoted, because you know how I like to fight. I like to go and put on the show. And I felt like if I was a promoter, I would always protect fighters like that and promote them and you know, keep them happy.
It always felt like you had quite a good showing though in Pride though, because like obviously in that Sakuraba fight, it was super close. And I could see kind of where you're coming from with the same, because around that time, I think Sakuraba had just lost to Vandalay, right? So they probably wanted him to like bounce back and, you know, thought they give you like try and give like an opponent you could beat. But you were kicking his ass for like most of that fight until I think he caught you with, I can't remember what submission it was.
He caught me in a rear naked choke right as soon as I ran out of gas, because that was my first time fighting a 10-minute round.
Yeah.
And, you know, 2 weeks notice for a fight, it's not enough time to prepare for a 10-minute round and to lose all that weight. I'm not making excuses. Like, the guy he was on top of his game. You know, he lost to Vandalay, but his submission game was, you know, really good. And I'm not that good at jiu-jitsu, I'm being honest. But, you know, Pride called me a lot of short notice fights. Some I won, some I didn't. Like when I fought Igor Volchanchin, that was a 3 weeks notice fight. And a couple other Japanese guys. One time they made me break my hand when I fought the what was his name? Was it Ishikawa? Is it Ishikawa? He was a pro wrestler. He used to wear they came in there while I was taping my hand and said, no, you can't use that much tape. They never cared about tape. I ain't gonna say his name, but I saw some fighters shooting syringe inside their rolls. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's a very popular Pride fighter. And I saw him shooting some syringe inside his wraps, and they didn't say nothing, but they talked about me, my tape. And the first punch I hit him in the forehead, snapped my wrist. I mean, snapped my bone in my hand. And they just treated me like shit. And it was even worse when I fought a Japanese guy. You know, it is what it is.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, it is what it is. But I just wish I would have been treated better. Like, even some fights, like when I landed at the airport, I had to take they were like, my first time coming, like, yeah, we're gonna have a limousine for you when you land in Japan. And then I get there, their limousine is a damn bus. It's called a limousine bus. I was like, what the fuck is this? You gotta get a ticket and get on a bus with everybody else. And then I see Heath Herring get like a Sprinter van type thing, and you know, they come picking him up in a Sprinter van. And then I get to the hotel hours later, and I see him already going out to go get something to eat. I'm like, man, you know. But you know, and I fought there for years, and still, at first I thought like, oh, I'm the new guy here, so maybe, you know, I gotta, you know, build up and, you know, show my work and everything. But they never picked me up from the airport. I always had to take the damn limousine bus.
So
That's amazing.
I always kind of wonder, because after that Sakuraba fight, you went and fought Alexander Otsuka, but you fought him in like Battle Arts, which wasn't Pride. But then suddenly 3 weeks straight after that fight, you were fighting I think it's Ishikawa, right?
So, no. Okay, I got my names wrong then. Ishikawa is not the guy I broke my fist on then. Yeah, but Ishikawa, I fought him after Alexander Otsuka, because he the one who set that fight up between me and Alexander, and they were friends. And I beat the shit out of Alexander, and he told me that since he got his friend ass kicked, that now he had to fight me to save his honor or some bullshit, he said.
Right.
So he was actually the first guy I knocked out ever in my professional career. That was the first knockout ever. But I can't remember the name of the guy that broke my fist. So he was a little Japanese guy that wore a little red spandex when he fought.
Oh, Minoue.
Minoa, yeah, that's his name. Yeah, that's the guy.
Minoue.
Yeah, that's the guy I broke my. That's
And
the guy.
Enson knows him from recently.
Ishikawa, they didn't fuck with me at all with Ishikawa. They must didn't like that motherfucker. They didn't say shit.
Right.
But Boss Rudin trained Ishikawa for that fight, and I didn't care. I didn't care. He said the guy needed all the help he can get.
You know what's real crazy about that is, they kissed my ass. Pride did, and if Rampage, if you knew me better and you came to talk to me, I could have probably straightened all that up.
Fuck, I wish I would. I didn't know, but you know, you was the man. You was the man in Pride. I was a young blood coming in there. You know what I'm saying? I back in those days, I didn't complain publicly. In those days, I didn't say nothing publicly. I just complained to Yukino and Hideki, and like I had a lot of fights with them, and them like treat me the way they treat me. You know, I had been fighting in Pride for years, right? For years, and UFC was gaining like, you know, Pride was bigger than UFC, and then UFC was gaining because they had the Ultimate Fighter, and I had just done like one of my first movies and stuff, and one of the guys that write movies and do movies, he came to me and he asked me questions about Pride and stuff, and he wanted to do a movie about Pride, like this organization in Japan. And boom, boom, boom. He explained to him. I said, well, I can set up a meeting with the people I know. I set up a meeting with Yukino and Hideki or whatever, and with this big movie producer guy, right? And I'm in a meeting with them, and Yukino in the meeting saying like, why you heading this meeting? Why you bringing this meeting to us? You're a nobody. And I was like, wow. I said, wow, I'm a nobody. I said, okay, Yukino, I'm gonna remember that next time you want me to fight. I'm a nobody. And
you know that Yukino, you're talking about Yukino like that. I think I did actually have problems with them because she spoke English, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was before I fought Mark Kerr, me and my brother Egan had a game where he pretended like he was my manager. So I was calling all the shots, but he was playing that, no, I think Enson needs to get paid more and that kind of stuff.
Right.
And when I fought Mark Kerr, when I got into Pride, I was getting paid $50,000 a fight. And for Mark Kerr, we were like, you know what? I got to get paid more than that. So we started negotiating, and they actually sent, I think I still have all those emails too. She actually sent an email to us saying that, oh, Enson's not worth that much and that kind of stuff. So it was crazy, man. I mean, they're like almost like degraded me to Egan. I mean, I don't know if they think they're stupid enough to think that Egan's not going to show me that email.
Right.
So when I saw that email, I got on the phone, called Sakakibara right away and said, hey, fuck you, man. If that's what you think about me, fuck you. And you know what was weird? All that shit stopped. Yukino never contacted Egan again, and we contacted Sakakibara direct. So the fact that Sakakibara was really nice to you, he knows what's going on. He knows everything that's going on behind those scenes.
Yeah. He was the one who he was the one who recruited me the first place. He came to the King of the Cage and he saw me fighting the King of the Cage. And he liked me. He was the one who told me to like keep wearing my camouflage pants out because that wasn't my original get up. You know, I didn't really have a get up, but one day, you know, I was rushing to a fight in King of the Cage and I forgot my shorts and stuff that I walk out in. I said, and I was wearing those camouflage pants. I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna walk out in this shit. And that was the day that he was there. And the weird thing happened, the guy that I was supposed to fight, he backed out of the fight at the last minute. So they pulled some big giant guy out of the crowd. And I never forget, I beat the guy up. I picked him up. He's way bigger than me. And I picked him up and I slammed him. And he you know, and I fucked him up. And you know, I howled. I did all this stuff. And Sakakibara came up to me. He gave me the card. He said, I love your image. I want you to come fight for me. And he said, where make sure you wear those pants and that chain and come to fight in Japan. I'm like, Japan? Okay, I'm there. And I went.
Shit, no.
Yeah,
So-
but they paid me like shit though. They paid me like shit. You got 50 grand. I wish they would have paid me 50 grand.
So
Oh,
was that
wow.
the Sakuraba fight, right? Was that the first time you ever went to Japan?
That was my first time ever going to Japan.
I know I kind of we talked about this on the podcast, Enson, like your first impressions of when you first went to Japan. And like, I always think it's a bit of quite a big culture shock, right? So Rampage, what were some of your first impressions? Like, do you remember like getting off the plane? Like, what were you thinking?
Man, I noticed everything, you know. I noticed the country even smelt different.
Mhm.
I love the energy there. It's super clean, smelt really good. And you know, the people was very nice, except for the ones that were kind of like shy. And I noticed a lot of stuff. Even the homeless people there was different because my first time seeing a homeless Japanese person, and they was on the street and stuff like that, and they wasn't begging for money, nothing. But I gave them the coins because I always hated all the change. I hated the coins. Whenever I go to England or Japan, I get all the coins. I try to get that shit away, even though it equals up to a lot of money. I still want a fucking pocket full of coins. And I gave it to the homeless Japanese guy. This motherfucker threw that shit in my face and cussed me out in Japanese.
Ooh.
I was like, wow, I ain't never met no homeless person like this. Like that, but you did not want my help. That was my first time going to Japan, so
Wow. Oh yeah, they're kind of like that. Yeah, in a way, they're kind of
pride, right? They have their pride and stuff, right? It was because he wasn't begging.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
and the women, oh my God, the women were so beautiful because I've always liked Asian women my whole life. My mom told me the first girl I ever kissed was Asian, and when I went to Japan, I'm surrounded by beautiful Asian women. I was like, what the fuck is this? Loved it. My first impression, loved it. Loved it. I didn't like the food though. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, really?
Get down with this. Oh fuck no, I couldn't get down with this shit.
Okay. What about now? Have you adapted?
No. I only eat certain things. I'm a picky eater though.
Oh, okay.
Picky eater, so I'm real picky. But they do have some good food. They have like really good pastas and Japanese steak. I can eat that every day.
Yeah. They got cool little takes on Western food. I always find. So.
Yeah.
You don't eat meat, Rampage?
Meat? Yeah, I eat meat.
You don't like the beef there?
No, because I like my beef. I like my beef well done.
Oh, you like it a little tougher than softer?
Yeah, I like it. I like it a little tough. I don't like no pink in it. I only eat one thing pink.
Oh, okay. You like them?
That's the monk.
I'll have a comment about that, but we'll save that for later. I know you eat pink, Rampage. Okay, next question, James.
All right. So I focused a lot of like the questions and the topics around like the Pride days, right? Just because I figured you guys, might share some similar colleagues. But there's one similar colleague, right? Was Igor Vortanshin. You guys both fought Igor. But the one thing I really want to know, Rampage, is what did the note say? You gave him a note. What the fuck did the note say?
First of all, I gave him the note because I was nervous as hell. I'm not gonna lie. That was at that time. That was like my most nerve-wracking fight because I took the fight on 3 weeks' notice, and my coach was on vacation. He was in Hawaii because my coach at the time, Colin Oyama, he's from Hawaii.
Colin.
Yeah, he was in Hawaii on vacation, visiting his family, and so I had Rico Rodriguez coach train me, and it was just like a last minute camp, and I just said like, man, I'm gonna get knocked the fuck out. So I wrote him a note and said, my mama said, don't knock me out, because you know that song, Mama said, knock me out.
Yeah.
So I said, my mama said, don't knock me out, and this motherfucker read the note upside down. I was like, I'm finna get knocked out. He can't read. I'm like, he's not. I'm like, he's not gonna understand that he's not supposed to knock me out. He's gonna.
That's so good. That's cool to like.
I didn't even know you gave him a note. How'd you know he gave him a note? I didn't even know that.
You can see it on the fight, right? Yeah. Literally, as the bell, when they're doing the stare down, Rampage hands him a note.
Holy shit! I didn't see that.
Hey, you know, I'm a different breed. I do shit different. I like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I like to,
Yeah.
I like the shock factor. I know nobody ever gave him a note right before the fight.
Yeah. That would
And I
throw
think
him.
that's,
He'd be like, "What the fuck is this?"
yeah, I think that fucked up. His ass really tried to read the note, but he had it upside down. He was like,
Yeah, man. But it looked,
I think they threw him off.
yeah, it looked like some of it was in Japanese, some of it was in English. Like you
Nah,
went multilingual
no.
with that.
Fuck you, James. My handwriting is just that bad. I wrote this shit myself.
You know, I'm gonna add some screenshots and I'm gonna put it like in this video, right? So
Oh yeah, you can damn. You can see the note.
Holy shit, that's too funny.
Oh man.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah. Well, here's another one, right? So it's funny actually because you put this on your Instagram the other day, right, about the yellow cards, which and I remember, which was really harsh, right? Because Enson, you would have benefited from the yellow cards because some of the fighters that fought you in Pride, you know, we did a proper bit of a lay and pray job. Sorry, Marker, but you know, for you, Rampage, that the fight with Randleman, right? That was harsh with the yellow card. But what I really wanted to know was the fight you fought the Russian guy, Mikhail, I think his name was.
Yeah.
You gave the referee a yellow card. And I always wanted to, like, right before the fight, right? And I always wanted to know, like, did you get like any heat backstage? Like, that probably didn't help your relations, right, with Pride.
No, at this time, I was like, fuck Pride, because the way they treated me and they didn't promote me. I said, I'm gonna stand out. I'm gonna promote myself. The only thing that came from that is that they made my first toy with the fucking yellow card. I was probably like the most yellow carded fighter in Pride, and I always push the action. They just wanted to take 10% of my fucking money.
Wait,
really,
did they actually take 10? Did they actually take 10% from you? They did.
Yeah, they took 10% of my fucking money every time, except for that Randleman. Except for that.
Wow,
Randleman,
I think I got 2 yellow cards, but they never touched my fight money.
Damn.
I thought it was just something they showed and bullshitted. Whoa, they actually cut your pay.
Bro, they cut my fucking pay. They took 10% of my fucking money every time. The only time they didn't take 10% of my money is that one they gave with Randleman, because I was like, I'm not the one started. I'm the one pressing the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then I knocked them out right after they gave me the yellow card. And it's like Sakakibara was like, yeah, we're not going to take 10% of your money this time.
Wow.
So it was a scam. It was a scam the whole time.
Yeah, because they never took 10% from my fight. Not at all. They didn't touch my money.
You think something like
he owed me like $100,000.
Whoa.
Wow. They didn't take anything from me, man. They're taking it now, though. They're taking it now in Rising.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because Tsuyoshi, though, the fight that he didn't stop punching the other fighter, he got docked payment.
Well, you should get dock payment for stuff like that. But for like the yellow card, it should be like a point or something. It shouldn't be money. And it was points and money in Pride.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they had it in the contract was 10% of the fight money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I was to ask you guys way back in the day, like say like 2002, 2003, if I said to you guys back then, where do you think Pride will be in 10 years? What do you guys think? How do you guys think you would have answered that?
I thought it would have been as big as the UFC is now. I had no idea that Pride was going to fall like that.
Enson, what about you?
I would have thought Pride was going to be the biggest thing around.
Yeah, because it felt like such a fall from grace, right? It seemed so sudden the way it sort of spiraled out.
I got a question. How come Rizin is not as big as Pride was?
It's getting there.
Is it?
I think so. It feels like it.
Well, it's because they don't have they don't have the big foreign fighters like you guys anymore, and they don't have any Japanese person that can actually, become a big hero that can defeat these guys. I mean, I didn't win many fights, but I was someone that could actually fight with anybody. And Sakuraba, of course, Sakuraba was someone, they had Shoji that was willing to throw down with anybody. They had Matsui, so they had a lot of quote unquote, Japanese so-called warriors they have. But now it's just so sporty now. They don't have any big star. The biggest star they have is Horiguchi right now.
Hmm.
Is
It
that,
feels-
is
and he's
that the guy
still
that fought is that the guy that fought Mayweather?
No, that's tension.
no tension.
They
That guy's
booked that big fight.
yeah, but see, Tenshin is a freaking good fighter. He's a big star in Japan, but he can't get any bigger because he can't. There's no big American fighters that can come over that he can beat.
Hmm.
They bring and make him fight Mayweather is like in a boxing match. I mean, that wasn't very smart,
No.
for his stardom.
No.
Rizin does feel like it's in one of its healthier places, right, than it was before, though, because they kind of focused a lot more on. With the pandemic, they've got a lot more Japanese talent, right? So they're kind of building up the stars. You got the Asakura brothers who kind of got big YouTube followings. So it feels like it could.
The only problem with the Rising that you compare it to Pride, that it's not as big. The Rampage, the production is exactly the same. The way they have the ring entrances, the way they the setup and everything is exactly the same, but they don't have the fighters. They don't have the they don't have the Rampage Jacksons. They don't have the Kevin Randlemans. They don't have Igor Vovichanchins. They don't have these guys now, and it's as you notice, it's all like the lower weight class. That's why the guy I'm training now, the sumo guy, they have big hopes for him, but he doesn't fight. He won't fight like us. He won't fight to the death kind of thing. So. I think that's a big thing too. Pride was took a lot of pride in having those soccer ball kicks, face stomps, 10-minute rounds, and I mean stuff. No weight classes, having Inoue fight, huge guys. So it's like if that was their big thing, man. And right now it's moved more towards the UFC's type. There's a little bit more rules. There's weight classes, so. The production, it's unfortunate because the production's the same, man. It's incredible, the production.
Is it on Fuji TV? They still got that Fuji TV contract?
It just got on Fuji TV 2 years ago. So it's in Japan, it's picking up a lot of momentum. It's getting really big in Japan now.
Talk to Saka Kibara-san about my son fighting over there then, because I would
just
love
ruin one of my questions.
They will probably love to with him.
Yeah.
I can talk to him.
Yeah, because I would love my son, he will fight he'll fight at 170. So I want him to get I want him to get like 9 more amateur fights, and then he wants to go pro. And I would love to come over there and corner him and go to Japan and have him fight. I would love him to get his start in Japan like I did.
Oh shit! I could. Awesome. You know what, Rampage? I'm 100% sure they would want your son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They love doing those family stories.
Yeah.
I mean, no. You're a huge name in Japan. Shit, you're super huge.
That's what she said.
You're so I'm sure you eat pink, and I'm sure they'd want your son.
Yeah, let me know what he say, and I'll tell him my son got 9 more amateur fights, and he'd be ready to go. One of my friends over there, Taka, he's working with Pancrase. I think they have some amateur fights. I would love for him to go over there and do some amateur fights. I don't know if Pancrase is still going on.
Yeah, Pancrase is huge with the amateur fights.
Yeah, I would like them to get some amateur fights over there in Pancrase as well.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
Does Sakakibara know how to get in touch with you?
No,
are you still in touch with them?
No, you can give him my phone number.
Or your email, maybe, yeah?
Yeah, give him my email. He speaks English now, right?
I don't know. Probably does. I mean, he travels to the States a lot, but he speaks Japanese to me, so I don't know. But I'm pretty sure he does.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that for sure.
Did you already speak Japanese before you moved to Japan?
No, I had to learn when I was in Japan.
Wow.
But the thing is, I lived there, and when I first came to Japan, I wasn't fighting; I was playing racquetball. So I lived in the country teaching English. So when you live in the country, there's no one that speaks English. So I had to learn Japanese to survive. So it's a real different incentive when you're living just to learn to pick up chicks, or you're learning to survive. Is a whole different thing, man. It's a whole different incentive.
Yeah, I would have loved to live there. What made you want to move to Japan? What made
Well, for me, when I first got there, I didn't like it because it was hard with the language. I had no friends, no money, and the reason why I love it now is because it's the country is there. There's so much manners. They're mannerly, they're polite, and except the homeless guy you approach, but other than that, they're all mannerly, they're polite, and it's a safe country. You know, Rampage. They're still. I just went to 7-Eleven with my wife, and we left my car running because it was too cold, so we left the heater on. Went to 7-Eleven, shopped, and came out. I haven't locked my door in like 20 years. Yeah, I mean it's safe as hell here. You lose your wallet 99.9% of the time. You're getting your wallet back with all the money in it.
Yeah. Someone did that to me once. I left my wallet somewhere, and someone came chasing down the road and gave it to me.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done it a couple times. I lost my passport and my wallet, and I had friends lose their purse, their phones, cameras. Yeah,
that's cool.
I mean, especially the way the world is going now. You know how dangerous and how crazy it's getting, and the politics. The Democrats are trying to kill the Republicans. You know, civil war is on the edge. Going to happen soon. You know, Japan. I mean, why wouldn't you want to be in Japan right now?
I know. What about about COVID? Are they pushing the vaccine over there?
Yes, I think right now it's almost 70% now.
See, that's why I don't like that. You know, everybody pushing the vaccine and it don't work.
But you don't have to take it.
It's not mandatory.
No, you don't need to have a vaccine to get in a restaurant. There's nothing at all like that. It's all voluntary.
Oh, see that what I don't mind. If you want to take it, take it. But I don't think the government should be forcing people to take anything, because some people are really allergic to it. Because everybody's body is different.
Yeah, I know you mean. It's kind of weird, man.
Well, you know that you know the Joe Rogan took ivermectin when he got sick, and he got cured in like 5 days, or 3 days or something. Yeah. In Japan, they use ivermectin.
Yeah, it works.
The United States won't okay ivermectin, but in Japan, it's actually the drug they give you if you come in with COVID.
Right, because it works. Because I got it from Mexico, and a couple of my friends and family members got sick, and I've given it to them. They healed them up in 2 or 3 days. My son actually caught COVID twice.
Shit.
And the second time he got it, I feel like he got it from my 2 younger kids, because they got the vaccine, and when you get the vaccine, you're contagious, right? So he was hanging out with them doing Thanksgiving and stuff, and he caught it. Luckily, I haven't caught COVID yet, you know, and I was hanging out with my kids too, but my son got sick. He got COVID for the second time.
Oh wow, it's a weird time.
But the ivermectin healed him right up.
Yeah, gotta dodge that shit. In the UK, we were like riddled with it, right? There's like yesterday they announced like 120,000 new cases. You think how small the UK is, right?
That's crazy.
You know how much they had in Japan yesterday?
How much?
We're talking the whole Japan, the millions of people in Japan, 225 new cases.
That's fucking stupid.
That's good. That's good though.
That's unbelievable. That is
really,
you know,
unbelievable.
Even Japanese people, they always wear masks. They've been wearing masks for years. They always wear the mask, and I don't know how well the masks work, but the Japanese people, they swear by it. They wear masks all the time, you know?
Yeah. What did you think the first time you saw Japanese people wearing masks? Because that was a big shock for me, so I'm curious what you thought.
I thought it was stupid.
Yeah, honestly, I did. Honestly, I did. I thought it was stupid. It was years ago. I was like, why these people got masks on? And you know, my ex-wife was telling me like, oh, maybe they have a cold and they don't want to get anybody else sick.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, that's nice of them. And then I was, you know, I was cool with it. But what I don't understand is when people be by themselves in a car wearing a
yeah,
mask.
yeah, that's fucking stupid. Yeah,
I don't understand that one.
yeah,
But
that you see like that all the time, right?
Yeah, you can't breathe with that shit on.
I know some
I've
people are
actually
just
did
too
that a
paranoid.
couple of times. I've
No
actually did that a
way.
couple of times. I forgot to take it off, and I'm driving here like, oh fuck, why do I have this shit on now?
Yeah. I figured that's what it was. I figured they wear it so much they forget they fucking have it
Yeah,
on.
I think that's probably.
That's probably
Yeah.
what it is. That's probably what it is. That's what
Oh
I thought. I said,
shit!
yeah, that's probably what it is.
So when we're going back to Pride quickly, one of the things that I think was always what kind of set the Pride American broadcast right away from like UFC, because MMA is such a serious sport. But I used to love the little like pre-fight interviews you and Bas Rutten used to do, right? There was so much little comedy sketches, and I was curious, did you guys like plan them before, or was it just like on the fly sort of thing?
It was mostly on the fly, and I remember the one time they had me at the shop, at the store. That was basically like my first taste of acting, and I was a terrible actor. But that was the only one that was planned. They said, "Hey, we're gonna take you to this shop, and you're just gonna act like you the clerk." I'm like, "Okay, I do it." It was fun. I love Boss Rutten to death. Him and Stephen Quadros.
Yeah.
Like we still have like great relationships today. I don't talk to him all the time and see him all the time, but I look up to those guys so much, and we had so much fun back in those days. But Pride, they did everything right. They did everything. I love the way they did. I'm gonna tell you something, Enson. I'm gonna tell you the best thing that I used to like about Pride is you remember after the fight, as soon as your fight was done, you go backstage. It'd be like a little after party going on.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, no one else ever done. No one else ever did that. UFC, no one did that. You go back as soon as you get done fighting. You can go to your locker room, take a shower, but you want to hurry up. You wanted to hurry up and get backstage because they had food and beer. That's why I like Kirin Ichiban. That's my favorite beer because that's what Pride used to have back there, and they used to have like the big 40 ounces. I used to walk around with 40 ounces before. If I wasn't the main event, I'd be drunk by the time the main event came around. I'd be backstage, me and Gary Goodrich be back there like joking around and talking and stuff, and it was the best. You get to socialize with the other fighters and stuff. It was the best.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was
They actually, I think they had actually a lot of big sponsors and fans in there too at those times.
yeah.
And they had shitload of food, man. It was like a frick a whole table full of food, man.
Yeah. And you remember after you win, they gave you the big fucking fake check and they gave you money.
Yeah,
They used to give you like a little money at the end. I used to love that because that's why I used to go spin in Rapunket later on that night. I used to love it.
You bring the big check with you, like.
I know. Enson,
I
tell you what, man, we need to get somebody, one of your rich friends to have us bring that type of stuff back, man. We can have our own little show in Japan and stuff, man. Bring back the magic of Pride.
Yeah, no shit, yeah. Pride, man. We need to bring that back, man.
They need to bring
You know what? You just said something about you couldn't act. I thought you were super good on A-Team. You didn't look into acting more?
No. I wasn't good back when I was doing stuff in Japan, but then I studied for 18, and
so you went to acting classes and stuff.
Yeah, I had an acting coach.
Oh.
So I started studying for acting because I did a couple of movies. After I got beat by who beat me? Shogun. After I got beat by Shogun, he injured my rib, and so I took a little time off from fighting, and I got thrown into some movies, and then I said, you know what, this acting shit fun. It don't hurt. So I started I started taking some lessons, and I learned how to act.
How come you're not doing more acting? Because I thought after seeing A-Team you were gonna get flooded with jobs.
Man, this is what happened. I was on the contract with the UFC, and I was supposed to fight Rashad Evans. So I took the movie instead of the fight with Rashad Evans, and my dumbass manager at the time signed with William Morrison Endeavor. Those are the same people that bought the UFC. They represented the UFC. So allegedly, I got cock blocked from doing movies after I signed with William Morrison Endeavor. So
Okay, cool.
so I signed with William Morris and Endeavor. And I
Wow.
knew it was a bad idea. I had a meeting with CAA that day, and I wanted to sign with CAA, but my fight manager was a fucking idiot. He thought that it would be a good idea to sign with the same management that represented UFC. And I told him, I said, listen, man, I'm not the most educated person on this fucking planet, but I don't think that's a good idea because UFC fucking mad at me for doing this movie, and they ain't gonna want me doing them. They ain't gonna want me doing no more movies. So allegedly, in the movies that got offered to me and stuff like that was shot down. And I didn't do any more movies. So I've been doing movies since then, but it's been like a low budget movies and stuff you probably never watched. Some of the stuff been good. Some of the stuff went straight to like Netflix, DVD and stuff. But I had like small parts here and there, but I've turned down some stuff as well. But I haven't done anything big. I just did a movie with Cowboy Cerrone and Chael Sonnen and Wes Cage, Nicolas Cage's son. I just did that in Vegas. And a week before that, I did a movie with Anderson Silva.
That's cool.
So those are
good. So you're still kind of into that. Oh, good.
Yeah. I still act, but it's like low budget. 18 was the biggest movie I ever did. And I don't know if I ever make it back up to that level, but
I can't even imagine. I can't imagine the fucking residuals for the 18. Oh my god.
It's nice
because I did some little shows on Hawaii 5-0 in Hawaii.
I know. Yeah. I saw you.
But I'm still super happy with the residuals I continually get. Of course, there's some 23 cents checks that I had like a 3-cent check, but there's like $45 checks, and every time I go home, I have a bunch of checks to cash, and it's actually really nice to have that. I'm thinking my part was literally like 20 seconds maybe. And I'm thinking, guys like fucking Rampage's 18 must be nuts.
No, you was in a couple episodes though. One year, I know I saw you in there more.
Yeah, I was like in 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah, I watched that whole show. It was a really good show. I really liked that show. I saw you on that.
That's cool, man.
I always get called for the Yakuza parts or the gangster parts. Never anything serious.
Yeah. You typecast, brother.
Yeah.
You should.
I got killed in my last one too, so I don't know if I'll ever be back there again.
The
whole thing closed down though.
It closed down?
Yeah.
Why you don't go for movies in Japan? I would love to do movies in Japan.
No, I'm in Japan. I'm touchable because of my relationship with the Yakuza and everything. Nobody wants to touch me.
Oh, that's really serious over there, huh?
Well, there's even rumor that people think that I am Yakuza. I'm not Yakuza. I have a lot of friends in high places in that world. I have a lot of respect from those people, and a lot of the production agencies they don't want to take a chance on hiring me and having some Yakuza group kind of collect for them, or having problems with me and then having a problem with the underworld. It's not like that, but I guess they just don't want to touch and take any chances. So that's probably why I don't get any TV roles or anything. I'm not a good actor anyway. So.
You never know. You never know till you do it. What I learned about Japanese people from marrying one, like a lot of times they play by the rules unless they get mad at you.
Oh yeah.
my ex-wife hates my guts.
Ooh.
And the stuff she's doing, I'm like, man, I might as well have married a black girl. Oh my God, what the heck?
Giving you shit.
I went all the way to Japan.
Wow. So that breakup didn't go good, huh?
It was crazy. We broke up in 2007, right before I fought Chuck, right? But then we instead of going through the divorce, she wanted to call it off And I'm like, no, you know I'm finna make a lot of money with this Chuck fight, and you trying to hurt me for my money. She said, no, I'll just sign some paperwork and say that I don't want your money. So we did like a post-nuptial. So we called off the divorce, so we got legally separated. And so and then over the years, we became friends, became really good friends. COVID happened. I bought a house, and we all lived in the same house because I didn't know what was going to go on, what was going to happen and stuff. And then some stuff, a bunch of stuff started happening. And I was like, and I know I got some deals coming, and I know I'm finna come into a lot of money and stuff. And I was like, we're not getting back together. Let's just go ahead and finish the divorce, but do it cool. Like, you already signed the post-nuptial years ago. We don't need to go to court or nothing. Let's just sign the divorce and get it over with, because I just want to, close this out. We good friends and stuff now. We get along great. We just had no problem. As soon as I filed for divorce, she became my worst enemy. I didn't understand that.
Whoa.
We was
Wow.
good friends. We was good friends for years. Co-parented very well, very good. And now, like, she's like lying in court. We going to court and lying. I'm like, wow, I had no idea that, you be this way. I had no idea. She showed me a different side of her. I don't even know this person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
That's
went all the
crazy.
way.
Wow.
I went all the way to another country to find me the perfect. She was a perfect wife at first. She was a perfect girl. We never fought, never had problems. My mom and my sister came over and got in her ear, like that whole thing with Eddie Murphy was talking about in the stand up. That shit is true. That shit is true. The black girls got in her ear, and then she started talking like a black girl, doing the black girl hands and waving her head like that. I was like, who the fuck are you?
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's true.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Whoa, that's crazy, man.
Crazy, huh? So I was like, I don't know, but I don't like American women that much. I felt like Japanese women have like better culture and know how to treat a man. Like, I married her because I was a single parent fighting over in Japan and stuff, and she came to visit me. She helped me take care of my son and do everything. And when I lost to Vanderlei the first time, I was fighting for the belt. I could have been the youngest champion in MMA if I would have beat him. And she was like, if you wasn't single parent, I think you would have won that fight. You didn't have to like do all this stuff and take care of your son and still train and do all this stuff. So she put her life on hold. She left her life in Japan and moved to America to help me out. So for that, I respected her. I treated her very well. Even after we got divorced, like legally separated, I still took care of everything. But as soon as I filed for divorce, it's like that's the worst thing I could have ever done to her. She forgot about all the good shit I did for her. Even all those years where, I paid for everything. She didn't even have to work. I don't understand.
Relationships.
Wow.
It's tough.
That's weird, huh?
It's weird, huh?
Yeah.
And you still want to come to Japan?
I still want to come to Japan, but I ain't marrying nothing though. I ain't marrying nothing this time. Hey, I'll smash and dash.
Lessons learned.
You know what, man? I think there's a good. I always thought the Asian girls are the best in the world, but they have their bad perks about them too. But I don't know. I ended up marrying New Zealand, so maybe you got to find something in New Zealand, man.
Oh yeah, they're good. Tell me about it.
Yeah, they're the best, man.
Oh wow.
And of course, she's right here, so I'm not saying it because she's right here.
The gun.
Yeah, you're the best.
So I want to ask about another relationship, Rampage, if that's okay. I was always curious, right? You in Pride, did you have a relationship with Dana White before the Chuck fight? And if you did it suddenly get worse after you knocked out Chuck?
Oh, good question.
I had no relationship with Dana White before the Chuck fight. I've seen him around because I was cool with Tito, and stuff. I've seen him, but no, I had no relationship with Dana White before.
And did you ever feel like there was always that, like you kind of knocked out his boy? Like, was there a bit of weirdness like when you first sort of signed, or?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. But I felt like Pride betrayed me that day because when I fought Chuck Liddell, I had to fight Vanderlei Silva 45 minutes later, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and Yukino and Hideki, and Sakibara-san, they had like a little meeting with me. They was like, we got Chuck Liddell coming over from the UFC. We want to show the world that Pride has the best fighters, so we need you to fuck Chuck up. And I told him like, yeah, I got to fight Chuck, but then I got to fight Vanderlei Silva, because Vanderlei Silva going to beat the guy that he beat. It's going to be me and Vanderlei in the finals. And I had a game plan with Chuck to save my energy for Vanderlei. They was like, you do this for us, we're going to take care of you. And I said, so I told them my game plan like an idiot. I said, all right, I'll do this for you guys. I'm going to fuck Chuck up. I'm going to show the world that Pride has the best fighters, but when I fight Vanderlei, it's not going to be as of a exciting fight. I'm going to have to take him down and ground and pound and ground him out with ground and pound. So I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to lay it prey. I'm going to ground and pound. And they're like, okay, do what you got to do. So when I fought, I fucked up Chuck, like I said, I was doing my game plan with Vanderlei, took him down, ground and pound him, and I'm punching him. I'm saying action the whole time. They give me a yellow card and stand me up.
Yeah, I remember.
With only 4 seconds of no action. If you go back and watch that fight, it's like 4 seconds, 4 to 6 seconds, no longer than 10 of no action, and they stand me up, and I'm dead fucking tired. And they did because they knew my fucking game plan, so they betrayed me. They wanted Vanderlei to win the tournament the whole goddamn time.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember watching the stand-up, and it seems super, like you wouldn't see that in today, right? Like in today's MMA at all. So
yeah, they betrayed me. Pride did a lot of shit. They did a lot of fucked up shit to me, and sometimes the shit blew back in the face. One thing they did, they know I'm a fucking video gamer, and the first Pride video game, they didn't put me in there. And Shogun was new to Pride, and I don't think him and I had fought yet. They put him in the game, and they didn't put me in the game. And they did that, and they knew it would hurt me. By this time, I was a big star in Pride.
Yeah.
The second thing they did to me at the end of my contract, this is not the second thing, it was another thing they did. They threw me into K1 against Sarah Abedi, and they thought they were going to knock me out.
Yeah.
It was like the end of it. This was my last fight of my contract. But what they did though, they paid me $200,000 for that fight. Right, that's the most money I ever made in Pride. Before that, I was making $35,000, $40,000 a fight. They never paid me a lot of money, and they paid me. No, I'm sorry. The first fight they paid me $100,000. The rematch they paid me $200,000, something like that. And another thing they did to me with the whole Ricardo Arona, the reason why I powerbombed him, because when I fought Murilo Bustamante, Ricardo Arona pulled out of the fight, and they didn't tell me, and I didn't know I was fighting Murilo Bustamante until I got to Japan.
Yeah.
And in the Pride rules, if your fighter pull out, you're supposed to fight a lesser opponent, not somebody that's better. And Murilo Bustamante jiu-jitsu was arguably better than Ricardo Arona. It was a different jiu-jitsu, and Bustamante just beat Chuck Liddell. He was like the champion.
Yeah.
The only reason why he wasn't in the UFC
good.
he negotiated for more money. And they just over and over they just did a lot of shit to me. They just kept doing a lot of shit to me, and that left a bad taste in my mouth. So I ended up leaving. I left Pride. I didn't renew my contract, and I left them right before they had the show in LA when Dan Henderson fought Fedor.
Yeah, Brandon Harris fucking
I left Pride. I said, you know what, I can't take this shit no more.
Were you ever planning to go to the UFC? Because you went to was it World Fighting Alliance, and then they UFC bought that promotion, right? Was UFC still on your radar, or
no? I wanted to stay away from UFC because Tito and I was training partner. We was kind of friends, and I knew if I went there, they were going to put me against Tito. And the UFC, they bought WFA just for my contract.
Oh shit!
And when they bought the organization, I had to go to the UFC. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make my money. And then good thing I made the most money I ever made fighting in the UFC. I did, but I didn't make what I felt like I was owed. But I made a lot of money in the UFC.
I made a lot of money on my first ever MMA bet, which I won, which was when you knocked out Chuck Liddell in
Oh yeah,
UFC. So no one, you were a big underdog in that fight, which is crazy. I thought so.
yeah, because the UFC, a lot of the UFC fans they didn't know about
No.
Pride. Like they was like casual fans.
Yeah,
They didn't, and Chuck was on the terror. He was rematching all his losses,
that was
and he was knocking people out. And I was like,
So you
this
didn't.
I got.
So you didn't get a cut. You didn't get a cut of that big bet Dana had with Sakakibara, huh?
No, they had nothing to do with me.
Shit! I heard there was like $1 million bet on who would win.
Yeah, I didn't get shit.
Wow.
I got betrayed.
Fucking
That's what I
bad.
got. I got betrayed.
Yeah, no
I
shit.
could have
Yeah.
won it. I was finna win that tournament. Can you imagine fighting Chuck Liddell and Vanderlei Silva 45 minutes apart?
yeah, that's
They were
No
two of the
way, man.
baddest
That's crazy.
dudes on the fucking planet at the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
it's really interesting to hear.
If I would have won that fight with Vanderlei, I would have went down as the baddest motherfucker in the universe. And that's
you would.
that's what I wanted. I wanted to be known as the baddest motherfucker in the universe.
But the third fight kind of erased a lot of memories, right? The third fight was nuts.
The third time I fought him,
yeah.
See, this is the thing about Vanderlei. I always knew that I could beat Vanderlei, but the first two times I fought him, I didn't have a strong team. My sparring partners were like jiu-jitsu guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't have like a wheel horse of sparring partners, and I had like a young team, and they was like little guys. I had one heavyweight on the team, and he really didn't like sparring me. You know, it was just unfortunate. I was like, fuck it, it is what it is. You know, I won fights with these sparring partners before. Like, not talking shit about my sparring partners. I love them, but they wasn't fighters. They were jiu-jitsu guys.
Different level. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I have a question, Rampage. Are you gonna get into any boxing? You know, I hear you and that other guy going
Shannon
at it a lot. Are you
Briggs.
gonna go into Thriller? Are you gonna step in that? Are you going? Yeah, Shannon Briggs. That's right. Are you gonna go into that side? I mean, I'm interested. Are you gonna do that?
Yeah, I've always wanted to have a boxing match before I got too old and retired. Shit, I'm 43 now, and me and Shannon was trying to promote our own boxing match. It would be like traditional boxing, but Triller picked it up and they want us to do like the triad rules. So it's talk now. There's nothing in writing yet, but it's talk now that one of the guys from Triller said they want us to fight May 14th. You guys are the first people hearing it right now on live air, but
Exclusive.
it's nothing signed yet. But that's when they said the fight going to be in. So I started training camp on January 3rd. That's when I started training because you know I got a lot of weight to lose, and it's been a long time. It's been 2 years since I fought. Is it how long has COVID been around? Is it almost 3 years now?
It's about
nearly
nearly 2, I think.
years.
Yeah, 2 years in like
yeah, be two.
Almost 2 years, I think.
Yeah, like February, wasn't it? Like,
on the
April's when Japan shut its borders. That 2 years ago.
Yeah,
so coming April would be about almost 2 years, around almost a little bit more 2 years.
Yeah, so that.
Wow, I'm looking forward to that though, man. I want to see you fight that.
After that, I do still want to do like a straight up traditional boxing fight with boxing gloves in a boxing ring before I get too old. Maybe now that I'm 43, by the time that happens, I'll probably be 44. So I need to fight somebody older as well. I don't need to be fighting no young guy. Maybe hopefully I can fight somebody in their 40s as well.
What about your MMA career, right? Would it be I know you sort of had quite a sour experience with Pride, right? But I always felt like the best place to sort of end your career would be like one fight in Japan, maybe under like the Rizin banner, big, with that big stage, Lenny Hart giving you the introduction. Do you think that would appeal if Sakuraba said, "Here's the money we owe you"? Like, do you think you get the deal done? Maybe.
Yeah, if they paid me good money, but I don't think Rizin can. I don't think they can afford what I'm used to getting paid now. You know, You kind of get spoiled, right? Once you start making a certain type of money, you don't want to go backwards. But after my last fight, shit, I don't know if they want to see me. I got to prove myself again. I got to get back in shape and let everybody know that last shit was it was health issues and it was a fucking fluke. So that's what I got to do.
with Japanese fans, right? And Enson, you can attest to this, right? It seems like they're not as sort of looking at your last fight. They look at the whole career, right? There's a bit more knowledge, a bit more looking back at the whole career rather than, you know, it seems like a lot of recent MMA fans, it's, oh, who'd you lose to lately? Rather than
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Japanese fans are my favorite fans. I've been honest about this before. Japanese fans and the Philippines are a close second, man. The Philippine fans, they love you. If you have any type of fame, and you go to the Philippines, and if you like being famous, go to the Philippines. If you like being famous, if you have any type of
Wow.
little fame, if you like being famous, go to the Philippines. Oh my God, those fans, they're great. But the Japanese fans are number one. They give you gifts, and I love it. In Japan, you have groupies. In America, you don't get no
Hey,
groupies.
hey, you guys both froze up when you were talking about fighting in Japan again, but I know one of the big sponsors in Rising now, they do have a lot of money.
For real?
And if you text me like what your figure would be, I can try and talk to him and ask him if they're interested, because he can make the call
I'm down.
over Sakakibara. Okay.
Hey,
Well, text
hey,
me later. Text me later
hey,
what you would want.
hey, I'm gonna tell you this. Shannon wants to do an MMA fight with me.
Ooh, really?
We can do that.
Whoa.
We could do it in Japan if they it would sell a lot in America. They do a good pay-per-view. The only thing is the time frame, right? They do it in Japan, but I think that would sell. I think that would sell a lot if they make the fight like earlier in the day or something.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. I'll go
Yeah.
try run some stuff by these guys and then see if they would be interested. I think they would be, because they're trying to get Mayweather. They're trying to get my guy to fight Mayweather's bodyguard, and I mean, they're paying Mayweather money. They got to pay Mayweather $1 million to corner.
Right.
So you know they if they feel it's worthy, they'll put the money out. So
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this. I'll tell you this on air. If you get me a big money fight in Japan, I break bread with you. That's how I do it. It's just to show love. That's how I show love.
I'll go try to see what I can do with that. Because just for the biggest reason for me, if anything, I think Rampage has to fight in Japan again. Rampage is huge in Japan. I don't know if you know how huge you are in Japan. You're huge.
I love it. I would fight there anytime. I fought. That's the main reason why I didn't back out of the fight with Fedor, even though I knew I was unhealthy. And my last fight before that was in the UFC against Ryan Bader. I had a knee injury, and I didn't pull out of the fight because I love fighting in front of Japan. I said, you know what, I take my chances because I've won fights injured before. You just don't know. It's like yo, the odds go down in your favor, but you know what I'm saying, anything can happen. And I love fighting in Japan. I miss the Japanese fans, and they have like a special place in my heart. And I think the Japanese fans know that. They give me a lot of energy.
Yeah.
But I gotta go. I gotta go.
And
now.
if you're ever in Japan, you let me know, man.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I always love to come and visit. I got your phone number now, so I'm staying.
We'll be in touch. We'll be in touch about you fighting in Japan too. I'll be in touch with you.
All right, sounds good. Thank God for Telegram. I'm glad you.
Yeah, no shit, huh?
Yeah.
Right on, man.
all right, everybody,
Yeah.
thanks for watching.